Hello, my most amazing art students. Today we're going to practice painting a value scale. So value is the light and darks of a color. So you can take one color like blue and I can make a dark blue, a light blue, a medium blue. It's great for when you're shading in your paintings or want to add some interest or textures. So this is a good thing to practice. So the first thing you're going to do is just using a black crayon. We're going to use crayon so that the paint doesn't run into or bleed into each other for just our practicing purposes. So I'm going to draw a big, long, skinny rectangle in black crayon. And then what I want to do is I want to divide that rectangle up with 3 straight lines. So it'll give me 4 boxes. And I'm going to paint and make a different shade of one color in each box. So if I do purple, I'm going to do a dark purple, and then it's going to get a little lighter and a little lighter until I can get the lightest purple. So you start with the dark and you work your way this way. So once I have that, I am going to put my name on the back before I get painting. It'll be easier for when I put it away, and I'll have it for next time. So I'm going to do purple because that's a dark color. I think it'll be easy for you to see. And remember, we want to wake these paints up. So I'm going to really get some water and wiggle in that paint container to get it really nice and wet and dark. So again, I'm doing it gently, kind of like dancing on the top of it. You can see it gets like a little goopy puddle on top. And you can see that's pretty dark. So I'm going to now very carefully fill in this entire box with that dark color, kind of working from side to side, putting what they call a wash, as in trying to get an even layer of paint. If you run out, just put your brush back in because you've got that little puddle in there, and you can finish filling in the rest of the rectangle. Trying to get it as smooth as I can. There. So I've got that nice bright purple filling in. Now this is the really most important part. I'm going to go and make this a little lighter. So we know with watercolors, the more water you have, the lighter your color. So one thing you can do, and I'm going to bring this closer so you can see, is if I just dip my brush in and just pull it right out. So I'm not really wiggling it to get all that color out. I'm just adding a little water, and I can tap it gently to get some of it out. And then I'm going to paint in the second box. So you'll notice adding that water has lightened the purple color. And this is pretty wet, so I'm able to fill in my square. It's okay if you leave some white spaces around the edges. This is just for practice. It's more to get used to painting different shades of colors than it is to make sure we're filling in every little white spot. So again, I'm just going to take my brush, dip it, and pull it right out. Tap off the extra and paint in the next square. So it's allowing me to get different shades of the color without even having to get any more paint. It's just adding more water to the brush. So the more water you add to your paints, the lighter your colors will be. And maybe on the last one, I won't tap out any of the extra. I'll leave it. So dip and pull out. I will tap. That's a little bit. Oops. And again, this is practice, so it's okay. I will show you a trick though after how to get that puddle off there. And this is my lighter shade. I don't see a lot of difference, but I do a little bit. So you should see a little bit of a difference. This one not as much as my other one. But it's gone from dark to medium to a little lighter to the lightest. Now see that little dot? If I take all the water out of my brush, I can kind of like soak it up at least so it won't get onto, again this is just practice, but just so it won't drip into my colors. So that's how you create different shades with watercolor. And then you could use those in your paintings to add shadows or highlights or just some interest with them, some different shades. And then the next, once you get this down pat, you could challenge yourself to try doing it with 2 different colors maybe meeting together. But practice this a little bit. It might even be good to practice it with all of the colors in your palette just so you get an idea of how it works.